spell your name for the record?
Steven Greiber, Stevengreiber, as in boy, ER.
And what do you do for a living, sir?
I'm retired,
What are you retired from?
law enforcement.
In what capacity were you in law enforcement?
I was an investigator or detective for most of my years.
Sure.
I'll say that I was a law enforcement officer.
Sure. In full transparency, at times you and I have worked together in our careers.
Yes,
Where at?
at the Dane County District Attorney's Office,
And how long were you at the district attorney's office?
12 years.
Fair to say, since you've retired, unfortunately, we haven't kept in contact or anything, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Where do you live, sir, in relation to Bart and Krista Halderson?
I live directly across the street. If our houses are almost like a mirror image of each other, if I went out my driveway, across the street, I'd go into their driveway. So our garages face each other and the front of our houses face each other.
In the early part to the mid part of July of last year, was there some significant police presence in your neighborhood?
Yes.
And was that for an ongoing period of time?
Yes.
At some point, did you talk to a police officer about something you perhaps noticed or remembered from July 1st of 2021?
Yes, I did.
Just first of all, if you could set the stage, what were you doing that day, July 1st?
Well, July 1st, initially, I had been up I have a garden that's away from my property. It's relatively large, a vegetable garden. So I'd been up there most of the day. And then later in the day, my granddaughter had a softball game. So I had attended that softball game, which was like around 6 o'clock in the evening.
Sure. What happened when you arrived home?
So when I came home, which had probably been an hour later, about 7 o'clock-ish, somewhere in there, but I had previously harvested some radishes out of my garden and had them in a 5-gallon pail, so I had taken them out into my front driveway and had cleaned them up, just cutting off the excess leaves and stuff like that. But I had sat in a park bench that I have sitting in my driveway that's sitting between the 2 garage doors, because I have a 3-bay garage door, or garage.
About what time in the day were you out in your lawn or the driveway there cleaning the radishes?
It was probably about 7 o'clock-ish, somewhere around that time.
Okay. And what did you notice around that time that caught your attention?
Well, what caught my attention was while I was there doing that for a period of time, all of a sudden I could detect a strong odor just of burning wood. And so I thought someone maybe had a fireplace or I should say a fire pit or something outside going. They're just burning some firewood. But about 5 minutes or so later, all of a sudden that odor of burning wood became a distinct odor that was more like in the line of what I thought someone was like barbecuing a large pork, like in one of these large barbecue pits or whatever that can hold a whole pork.
Okay. And how long did that smell persist in your neighborhood?
Well, for the remainder of the time I was outside, it was present, kind of became real strong and kind of like a pungent smell, to the point that I actually walked down my driveway half the distance and kind of looked up and down the street to see if anybody was doing anything like grilling or something else was going on, and I didn't see anything at that point.
Okay. If you had to guess, or if you had to estimate distance-wise from the location you are to the Halderson home, about how far away is it?
About maybe 100 to 130 feet.
Okay. And you have that observation that day. You're not here to say exactly what that smell was, right?
Other than it smelled to me like, yeah, it was something burning of a meat or fats or something.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Cross-examination.
No, thank you.
May this witness be released and excused.
Amen.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a good remainder of your day.
Good morning, sir. Please state and spell your name for the record.
Colin Lynch, COLINLYNCH.
And Mr. Lynch, whereabouts do you live?
7022 Bridgman Road.
And what municipality?
Windsor.
Okay. Did you know someone named Bart Halderson?
Yes.
How did you know Bart Halderson?
Neighbor, and we're both commissioners on Lake District.
Sure. I'm going to have you pull that microphone just a little bit closer to you. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's hard to hear in this room. You say you're both commissioners on a lake district?
Yes, it's a special tax district that acquires funds for the management of the pond that we live on.
Sure. You both back up to the pond?
Yeah, correct.
In relation to Mr. Halderson's house, were you aware of where Bart Halderson lived?
Yes.
Where was your house in relation to his house?
Directly behind him across the pond.
Okay, so if you looked across the pond, you'd see Bart Halderson's house.
You're correct.
Okay. Sir, back in July of 2021, did you have any security cameras at your house?
July 2021, yes.
Okay. What type of security system, or how many cameras did you have at your home?
A total of 13.
Did some of them face the front of your house?
Yes.
And did at least one of them face the rear of your house?
Rearward, yeah.
Okay. And does that camera look toward the pond in some respects?
Yes, the pond is in the images above the ground.
Sure.
So,
what was the purpose of that camera when you installed it? Was it to look at the pond, or was it to look at something else?
I had planned when I installed the cameras. I had planned on putting in a pool, and there's terribly risky, terrifying things, and so. One of the many reasons for installing cameras at the pool in the rear was the primary purpose of that.
Okay. In the mid part of July of last year, were the police having contact with you about your security cameras and perhaps them having some footage that they thought was helpful?
Yes.
And did you provide full access to your security system at that time?
Yes.
In fact, at one point they actually took your kind of the DVR from your home, did they not?
That's correct.
Okay. And did you later learn that they were particularly interested in maybe the rear camera of your house facing across the pond toward the Halderson house?
Roughly, yes.
And you fully comply with any testing they wanted to do during that time period?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm going to show you it's been marked in this case as exhibit number 306. Let me just ask you, do you know what that is?
Yes, that's my camera 6, my property.
Okay. And is that kind of a screenshot?
That would be accurate, yes.
I'll move 306 into evidence.
No objection.
It is received.
So I think you testified, the deputies took your DVR system and they pulled footage off of it, but you're saying that 306 is at least a screenshot of what that rear camera maybe would have been looking at around that time?
That's correct.
Okay, I'll just move to publish quickly, 306.
Of course.
And you said you were planning to build a pool. Looks like you followed through with that, right?
Amazingly, yes.
Okay. You had no further part in analyzing the video or doing anything like that. That was the sheriff's deputies, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And did they return your DVR to you eventually?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.
Cross-examination.
No, thank you.
May this witness be excused and released.
You may.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a good remainder of your day. Thank you.